Hey there, food friends. How are you? It's Kevin.
That's him, and I'm Ralph. He likes to cook, and I like to eat.
And this is summertime, and you know what we're making tonight, Ralph?
It looks green.
It's green zucchini, stuffed zucchini. All right. Zucchini is something, at least here in Michigan, that is really prevalent at all the farmers markets, and it's very inexpensive. And a lot of people grow it, and they end up with all those zucchinis, and they're making zucchini bread and zucchini, everything they can think of. So we're going to make stuffed zucchinis tonight. And we start with our zucchinis. Now these are sort of a little on the smaller side, kind of a younger zucchini. I like these because they don't have the big, huge seeds and everything else that some of the larger zucchinis have. And basically, you can see I just trimmed the two ends, okay? And then I'm taking a tablespoon.
With kind of a pointy end?
Yeah.
And scooping out the middle?
Scooping out the flesh that's sort of in the middle here.
Is that where all the seeds live?
Yeah. If you look closely, you can kind of see some of the seeds. They're small. At this point in the zucchini's life, they're not real big. But what I'm going to do is we're just going to scrape all that out. And then we're just going to leave kind of like the solid flesh. Okay, we'll do this one too. But this will, of course, what we're really doing is we're making room for our delicious stuffing that we're going to stuff in here. This is a vegetarian recipe, so for those of you who, just might want to take a break from meat like we want to do tonight, or you just, are crazy about these summer vegetables.
I love squash.
Yeah, this is a good alternative. Okay, so here we go. We've got our zucchini ready.
Got them all hollowed out like little canoes.
Yep. And turn this up. I've got about 4 tablespoons of butter melting in that pan. Here's what I've chopped up. I've chopped up a large onion, and we chopped up 2 or 3 little hot peppers. These are what they call a cherry pepper, which is very hot, isn't it, Ralph?
Yes.
He found out when he bit into one just how hot they are. So we've got a large onion, a couple of cherry peppers. You could leave the peppers out, or you could use a sweet pepper if you want, like a red bell pepper, or those are certainly in season as well. I've got some mushrooms just roughly chopped here. These are baby portobello mushrooms.
From Michigan.
And then, of course, you know what? Summer tomatoes. This is the best time of year. Tomatoes really only taste good about 3 months out of the year, and we're in the tomato season. So what I'm going to do is once that butter gets melted, I'll come back. We're going to put the onions and peppers in first, then the mushrooms, and then the tomatoes last. And we're basically going to saute these vegetables in the butter, a little salt and pepper, okay? Then we're going to come back and stuff our little zucchini boats here, and we're going to bake this in the oven, put some cheese on top. Delicious and so easy. All right?
Stuffed zucchini coming your way on Cavalcade of Food.
So our butter's melted, and we're going to start with the onions. And you know what? I don't know that I can do this. Thank you, Ralph. I'm standing on one leg, and
Kevin's doing a new dance called the flamingo.
So we tried to not let this injury here keep us down, so we're doing the best we can. So we're going to do these. We're going to get these onions first. They take the longest to cook. We just want these to get nice and tender.
The smell immediately of the butter and the onion is a smell of our moms, and such a lovely...
Our childhood.
It smells like love.
We're going to put a little salt in here, a little kosher salt. Let's hit it with a little bit of black pepper.
Brown pepper.
And we'll let the butter do the rest. So we're going to let these cook for about 4 minutes. Again, we want them nice and translucent and tender. So you can see see how the onions, Ralph, are starting to turn a little golden and sort of translucent. They're getting nice and soft.
That means they're cooking.
Yep, which is exactly what we want.
And the hot pepper's lightening up too.
They are.
Or changing color, I should say, because the onions are getting darker and the peppers are getting lighter.
So, again, thank you. Now we got our mushroom. This is a half a pound, by the way, 8 ounces.
Of small portobellos.
Baby bellows, they call them. So we're gonna.
They cook quickly, so they go in towards the end.
And there's a lot of water in mushrooms. They also, you'll see, they suck up. They're like sponges. All that butter that was there, they've already soaked it up. So we're gonna let these mushrooms cook down, get nice and soft. Then we're gonna throw our tomatoes in, and then we'll have our stuffing ready. Oh my gosh, it smells so good.
Those are some good kitchen smells for the summertime coming through.
So we're enjoying the harvest of fresh vegetables from our beautiful state of Michigan, and we're making stuffed zucchini. So come on back. All right, so now we are down to the tomatoes. Take a look at what's going on in the pan. Isn't that beautiful? Those mushrooms have cooked down.
That's some good color in there.
We're going to put our tomatoes in. Again, tomatoes have a lot of,
Moisture.
liquid. We want some of that moisture to cook out. So we're going to let these tomatoes cook down a little bit. And then, after all the veggies are done, you can use as sort of something to help as a binder to stiffen up the stuffing a little bit, right, like a panko breadcrumb or something like that. We're using Ritz crackers, actually. I've got, what do we got, 8 or 10 of them there?
8. Looks like 8. 2, 4, 6.
Okay.
Yep. We got 8 Ritz crackers.
Which I'll have Ralph crush up,
With
and
what?
we'll put those in after the tomatoes.
Right now?
Well, you could do it right now.
With my fist?
And then you could just squeeze them. You're strong like bull.
That's a lot of
Oh,
bull.
there you go. Just nice coarse crumbs. And Ritz crackers are kind of buttery. So
They have some salt, which you'll need to add because of the mushrooms and the tomato that you're adding have kind of taken a lot of the seasoning, absorbed a lot of that flavor. So now you're adding a little more salt through these crackers.
That's perfect, Ralph. So we'll put those in just a minute. So we'll come on back. Okay, so here's our vegetables, and here's Ralph's hand-crushed Ritz crackers. I've shut the heat off, so we're just going to work those in.
If you hear a lot of extra noise besides the wonderful Lou Rawls, it's this old-fashioned rickety fan that Finger Chopper 2000 Kevin has going in the kitchen because it's getting a little hot in here.
Sure is.
I have a feeling this mixture is going to be a little hot with those hot peppers.
Well, we only put a couple little small ones in.
That's true,
So
just
there we
enough to
have
give
it.
it a little oomph.
Let me move this over here. So, okay. Oh. So here's our, look like we had a lot of vegetables to start, but it really cooks down, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So what I'm going to do is we're going to fill our little zucchini like little boats here with our filling. I've preheated the oven to 350 degrees, by the way.
Seems to be the magic number for a lot of cooking
Yeah,
and baking.
it's 350 is what's considered a moderate oven.
What are the different degrees?
Well, there's what they call a low oven or a slow oven, a moderate oven, a high oven or a hot oven, which is like when you're talking about 450 degrees. Because there was a time where ovens many years ago didn't have real thermostats. They weren't automatic. Okay.
So people just had to kind of guesstimate?
Yeah, they had used, might have had a thermometer in the oven, so they had an idea of how hot it was, but, the ovens were not automatic. Some of them even were powered by, like kerosene or wood or coal. Careful, that's hot. Don't burn yourself. But we want to get every bit of this goodness. Thank you. Now I'm going to go to the fridge and get some cheese that we're going to put on top of the zucchini.
Do you recommend any particular kind?
We're going to use shredded Parmesan, but I would suggest a nice bold cheese.
Did you say bold or old?
Bold. bold. Sometimes bold cheese is old cheese.
Sometimes both, yeah.
Okay, you could use a Gruyere or something sharp. We're going to use Asiago, Romano.
But we're going to use
Parmesan. So that's what we're going to use. So, finishing touches. We've got our zucchini stuffed. I'm going to give one last little hit.
Fresh black ground pepper.
Yeah, and we're going to put cheese on top, and we're using Parmesan here, which is a fairly salty cheese. So I'm not going to put any additional salt. If you wanted to, you could, but this is what I'm going to do. So we're going to take the shredded Parmesan and just put it on top of our little stuffed zucchini boats here. And you know, zucchini is a very mild tasting squash, and so it will really serve as sort of a neutral almost palate for all these other flavors of the vegetables.
And I think zucchini is also quite soft, so it probably won't take a lot of baking, I'm guessing.
No, we're going to put it in 350 degrees. So here we go. And in they go.
Bye now. See you in a little bit.
See you in a little bit. Have fun in there. Okay? So our zucchini has been in for 45 minutes. And, oh, it smells good. Oh, does it ever? And here...
It smells like an Italian restaurant in here.
Doesn't it? I think, well, part of it's your Parmesan cheese. Doesn't that look like meat almost?
Yeah, it really does. It looks like a nice meaty filling. And I think what I'm smelling too is just the baked zucchini has a smell all its own that reminds me of like a baked eggplant, Parmesan or something.
So we're going to let this cool. The eggplant is soft but not mushy. You want it to keep its shape. So if you hit it with the fork goes in very easily. We're going to let this cool for a few minutes and put one on a plate and give it a try. The Parmesan's kind of gotten nice and crusty on the top. Oh, it smells wonderful. Okay?
It's like a vegetarian Coney Island.
Yeah. So we'll be back, and we're going to let this cool off for 5 or 10 minutes, and then we'll be back to take a taste. Stuffed zucchini. So here we go.
Taste test number 1.
And this is, like I said, fork tender. You can cut it with the fork. Got your mushrooms, your onions, those little cherry peppers, and the zucchini with the Parmesan cheese. Oh my. Delicious.
All the flavors come together nicely there?
They do, and you know, even if, like I said, you could serve this as a side, as your vegetable, and it'd be like many vegetables in one. Or you could, you know, if you just wanted to have a vegetarian dinner, just serve this.
Let's give the camera some.
All right, let's give the cameraman a taste. Now, careful, it's still warm. There you are.
Is it hot?
Yeah. What do you think?
We like it.
Isn't that yummy?
Wow. Bursting with flavor.
So
you don't miss the meat. I mean, I don't miss the meat, which is we're like a
delicious.
That's a very good vegetarian alternative to an Italian meat dish almost.
Yeah. So there it is, and you know what? All fresh summer vegetables put to great use.
Thank you for watching. Thank you, Lou Rawls, for letting us get close up.
And thank you for being a part of this one. Enjoy those summer veggies, and we'll see you next time.
On Cavalcade of Food.
Bye.
Bye now.